welcome to Irvine, California, and specifically Championship Soccer Stadium, as the defending Western Conference regular season champs are still looking for their first win of the 2019 USL Championship season, and they're up against expansion darlings New Mexico United, who are fresh off of their Game of the Week win against Tulsa just a few days ago. Tyler Terran's on hand, and sitting right next to me is the main man, ex-German pro, Devin Kerr. Thank you so much for joining us and taking time out of your Saturday night to enjoy the beautiful game. And Devin, we have a very interesting contest on our hands. Orange County obviously accomplished so much a year ago, defending Western Conference regular season champions. They lost some pieces in the offseason. They've struggled a little bit from the outset, and both of these teams have two terrific goal scorers and have scored two terrific goals as of late. Gio Ramos-Godoy, Goal of the Week nominee, and then Santi Moar on the other end actually ended up winning Goal of the Week for his effort against Phoenix.
Both teams have had some glimpses of brilliance, actually beautiful individual efforts. Unfortunately, haven't been able to put the full package together. Santi Moar has got 3 goals in 3 games, all 3 of which have been screamers. This one, upper 90, Carl Wazinski, turnaround, Devin Sandoval, golf clap. They went back, but again, 2 ties in the first 2 games. They got to win midweek versus Tulsa. Got to find a way to get 3 points on a regular basis.
And to be able to get 3 points, Devin, I mean, you have to keep the ball out of the back of the net to begin with, and that's been a struggle for Orange County.
Smaller roster so far, injuries, limited minutes, travel, all of this has come into play for Coach in his early moments. But at the back line, you're going to see something different tonight. Youngster, 17-year-old Aaron Cervantes is getting the start in the goal. He is the youngest ever signing in club history. 17th birthday was on Wednesday. On Wednesday, I was having tacos. And on Saturday, this kid's starting in his first professional game. He's actually the 3rd youngest in the history of USL. So they're going to look to a bright light to try and shine things from the back going forward, but they have to find a way to solidify things at the back. Again, great shots all over the field, but it hasn't been a collective effort.
And on our other side, Santi Moar is your pro sport player to watch for New Mexico United. And this man, I mean, you talk about enjoying the new opportunity that's been given to you. He is running with it in New Mexico.
Can do no wrong. This is your early season MVP right now. He and Luca Lobo did battle on Wednesday night. Luca Lobo, an outside back, now has 5 goals. Santi Moar is chasing him. Came over from Bethlehem Steel. Lethal combination with Josh Suggs on the left-hand side. They'll look to go early and often to Santi Moar.
Orange County still looking for their first 3 points of the season, and they're running up against a very tough expansion side in New Mexico United. It's a Western Conference clash when we come back.
At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you.
New Canada Dry Ginger Ale and Lemonade. The perfect blend of real ginger taste with a splash of real juice. Are you ready to taste Nirvana?
Hey, honey! Do we want to taste Nirvana?
Yeah, sure.
How long have you been sitting in my yard?
Since Tuesday. Try New Canada Dry Ginger Ale and Lemonade.
You give them an inch, they will take a mile. Just like that.
Goal! Orange County. Oh, it's a world-class goal from Orange County. Welcome back to Championship Soccer Stadium here in beautiful Orange County as OCSC taking on a terrific expansion side in New Mexico United, who have been on a tear as of late. It started with that draw against Fresno, and we'll take a look at the Orange County starting 11, which is brought to you by Adidas, official merchandise of the Orange County Soccer Club. Devin Kerr, what do we got for the home side?
We already referenced number 25, 17-year-old Aaron Cervantes getting the nod between the pipes. How about the center backs? Getting an upgrade there of sorts. Hugo Arellano as well as Leonardo. One on loan, one coming over from the Dynamo. Ramos Godoy is actually going to step up top a bit next to Darwin Jones. And this is going to be a fluid motion all night long. They've been good in the final third. They've been good defensively, but they really haven't put together a full 9 minutes. You saw 20 at the end of the Reno game, and we saw the first half versus Tulsa. Cloutier says they need to package that together. You jump over to New Mexico United. It has been padded with prowess on the left-hand side of the pitch. Santi Moar, Josh Suggs, they have been the limelight that has pushed them to the offensive side of things. But they can't close the game out. They need to find a way to stay as a collective unit all match long. How about the resurgence of number 19, David Estrada, the journeyman from MLS, couple 2 clubs, makes his way to Troy Lissane's squad. He's done well. Ryan Williams will join Kevon Frater right up top, see what he's able to take care of.
And we do have a bit of breaking news for you. Justin Schmidt was injured during warm-ups, and stepping in is the youngster Tommy Madden from UNC Charlotte, 38th overall pick by Orlando City from Burtonsville, Maryland, is going to get the start. And Troy Lissane addressing his team before the game, and I'm sure the center back position is at the forefront of his mind in terms of trying to make sure that his troops are at least in the right frame of mind heading into this. And Devin, I don't know how many times you've been a part of an injury during warm-ups, but it certainly can be a bit jarring because you have an idea of who's going to be playing next to you, who you're going to be playing with, and then all of a sudden, all that's changed 10 minutes before the game starts.
Unfortunately, I've been on both sides of this. I've been the one who's been scratched, and I've also been the one who's sitting next to a guy that's stepping off the pitch. The key factor here is to remain focused. You all have jobs to do, so you want to focus on that. Everybody has bought into the system that coach has put into place, and you just have to follow suit. What'll be interesting to see is what Lissane does here, because Tommy Madden is an outside midfielder, more specifically on the left-hand side. It's not going to take Santi Moar's place. Is there a chance that Josh Suggs may tuck inside a bit and let Tommy Madden play left back? That is a chance. Suggs is more than capable of playing center back. The other thought that you and I were looking at, Juan Pablo Guzman could step back into the middle of the field and hold serve a little bit.
And not only is he potentially playing out of position, but this is also his first professional start. And I mean, you talk about throwing a kid into the fire on the road against the defending Western Conference regular season champs. And this is an Orange County team that, Dev, I have a feeling they're going to be out for blood in the first 10, 15 minutes, because knowing Braden Cloutier and the conversations we've had with him both this year and at the end of 2018, I mean, this is a guy who hates to lose, and especially the way that they've been playing in the early going, this is a side that I have a feeling is going to come out flying.
Everybody's quick to jump on his back and say, oh no, watch out, look at the results. It's the it factor, the hot topic. They were in the same position last year. Literally the same position.
So no cause for concern if you're an Orange County fan.
No cause for concern whatsoever. You go a step further, he likes to think similar to what Alan Koch does at FC Cincinnati, who has now moved on to the MLS. 10 games. I like to look at the first 10 games. I take the black and white from pen and paper. I look at the sample size of 2 games. No, throw that out the window. Let's see the sample size of 10 games. From there, I'm giving everybody a chance from the start of preseason to 10 games to show me what they're made of. Then I know what I can work with.
Well, it's a draw and a loss for Braden Cloutier's side in the first 2 games. Let's see what they have in store for their third as they play host to New Mexico United. Turn off the world, let's turn on the game. Let's enjoy 90 minutes of what should be terrific football ahead between Orange County and New Mexico United. Again, I'm Tyler Terrence. Thank you so much for joining us. Devin Kerr right alongside me for what should be a great Western Conference matchup towards the end of week number 3 of the USL Championship season. New Mexico United, of course, coming off of that ESPN Game of the Week win over Tulsa. Santi Moar, very impressive with his goal. And this is a New Mexico side that really picked up a number of interesting and talented pieces, trying to piece together this roster for the 2019 season. And they get the likes of Kevon Frater. They pick up Santi Moar, Josh Suggs, Justin Schmidt, we mentioned, who's injured and not going to be available, replaced by Tommy Madden. But take all these pieces together, and were they going to be able to perform under Troy Lissane? The early answer is yes, but as Devin said, it's really too early to tell. And I mean, a bit bigger of a sample size to really make a judgment on either one of these teams. But so far, so good for New Mexico United as Santi Moar getting it over for Tommy Madden. And Kevin, as you mentioned, it looks like he's in a bit more of a wide position.
So it looks like what they've done is they've tucked Josh Suggs inside. They're letting Tommy Madden play left back. So not totally out of sorts, and he's got a veteran next to him. I mean, the list that you just went through is a relative who's who in the USL. You want to step in next to Josh Suggs? I'll take that any day of the week. We know what he's capable on the offensive side. We saw it so many times last year at Colorado Springs under Steve Tritchu. But how much has his role changed this year, having Santi Moar in front of him? Much more disciplined, and on the defensive side of things has really gone 1v1 and locked players down.
Well, we'll see how it unfolds with regards to Troy Lessane's game plan, and obviously Josh Suggs is going to be limited in terms of his offensive production. As Hashimoto stands over the free kick for Orange County, and a decent opportunity in the 3rd minute here. And the referee just sorting out some extracurriculars that are taking place before the free kick is let loose. It's Hashimoto. Not a bad ball over everybody's head. And a throw-in coming up for New Mexico United. And Devin, it's interesting you bring up the point of Josh Suggs playing in that center back role and how good it's been to have an attacking presence like Santi Moar, who probably, if there's few players in the USL who like to get forward more than Josh Suggs, Santi Moar is probably one of them. And it has reeled him in. It's made him a bit more disciplined, and obviously in the early going for New Mexico, it's paid dividends.
Well, it's been funny to see the progression in that relationship in the first couple games that they've played. You look at week 1 versus Fresno, very stagnant. Santi on the left, Josh on the left, and really couldn't find an ebb and flow. You look at the second game versus Phoenix, Santi Moar had a field day, but it was all Santi Moar. There wasn't a lot of interchangeable play. Fast forward to the game of the week.
Orange County with a decent opportunity here. The shot is let go, but ends up sailing over the bar, Dev.
You fast forward to the game of the week, and they were phenomenal. Moar stepping inside, Suggs on the overlapping run, great 1-2 combinations. You could really see the small windows they were trying to play through. They executed to a T, but again, it hasn't been the final third issues. It's been coming out. It's been, okay, we've gone out, we've gotten the early goal, we've gotten the lead. All 3 games that they've played so far, they've been leading. They've succeeded every single time.
Now it's time for our Hogue Orthopedic Institute injury report, presented by HOI. And Dev, we talked about Justin Schmidt injured during warmups, and of course Christian Duke, pectoral injury, expected to miss 3 to 4 months, and that is most certainly going to hurt Orange County. But almost the good news in that injury in terms of the extent of it is that the mindset, I think, especially for the players in the middle of the field, I mean, guys who might not have been getting the most minutes with Christian Duke and Aiden Quinn in the middle of the park, find themselves in a position where they might be able to get a lot more minutes, and Orange County's just going to sort of have to get used to the idea of playing without Christian Duke, and obviously they want him healthy as quickly as possible, but the extended injury gives them sort of that confidence to go ahead and say, okay, there's going to be basically half the season where we're without him. Let's see what we can do.
What an odd injury as well, and the way that it happened. Coach telling us that Christian Duke in a preseason game, they were playing on turf, it was raining. He was slowly trotting off the pitch to pick up the ball for a throw-in, slips, puts his arm down to brace himself, and that's how he tears his pectoral muscle. I mean,
a way to non-contact injury.
I mean, that is the worst way to go down for sure. But like you said, Tyler, it gives the likes of Hashimoto, Charlie Adams, Chrysostomo to solidify their place in this starting 11 and continuously make an impact. Again, Rinklute telling us that those first 10 games are so crucial to him, and he knows what he's got with Christian Duke. Duke will come back in. He'll be fine. He'll make an impact on this squad. But the other guys, the signings that were after the likes of Aiden Quinn, the Michael Seatons, those guys, what are you guys going to do with the opportunity that you've now been given?
Pressure from Orange County, and they'll win themselves a throw-in. Chrysostomo keeps the train moving for Orange County. Here's Contour. Watched closely by Juan Pablo Guzman. Whipped in, Cody Mizell able to handle it. And he certainly made a couple of stops over the past few years. It was the Charlotte Independents in 2017, able to help them to that Eastern Conference quarterfinal epic matchup against the Rochester Rhinos, and then with the Tampa Bay Rowdies a year ago. Certainly an excellent shot stopper and has made some big saves already in the New Mexico United yellow, black, and white. As the foul goes against Orange County.
Cody Mizell made some solid saves in the first 2 matches, and as well versus Tulsa, but had a rocky start versus the Roughnecks. Questionable coming off his line, and as a goalkeeper, you always want to have that commanding presence. Cody Mizell never one to step back from a challenge. Doesn't carry the largest of stature.
He's not a big keeper.
No, he's not. They list him at 6'1", but
that's generous. That's what stilts on.
In heels, he'd be that high. Yeah. He's not that tall. He makes up for it with his emotion, but just needs to be a bit cleaner in his efforts.
Suggs on the free kick for New Mexico United. Lost it towards the back post. Tete was there, but a little bit of miscommunication between him and the youngster Tommy Madden, who's getting his first professional start. And Tete, you know, he's a really good complement to Justin Schmidt along the back line. Obviously, he's hurt tonight, and they had to switch some things up, but in terms of pace and positioning, I mean, Schmidt is much more the latter, and Tete, I think, is the former. And, you know, you and I were talking about it before the first New Mexico United game that we called against Phoenix, and we were a little bit curious to see what he was going to bring to the table, but so far, so good.
You can't be happy if you're Troy Lesane, though, 4 games in and you've lost 2 center backs. Sam Hamilton in the first game versus Fresno.
Makeshift center back in Sam Hamilton.
Makeshift, but still, you're starting center back. That's what you've gone with. And now the likes of Justin Schmidt, but we'll see what Suggs is able to do. That's definitely not a permanent Band-Aid, or excuse me, a permanent fix. He's a Band-Aid. But Tete has done well for himself. Didn't really miss a beat, and to be honest, with all due respect to Sam Hamilton, I think it's an upgrade. It might be a blessing in disguise. Sam Hamilton, great player, more of a defensive-minded midfielder that we've seen in the past, and it's an experiment that Troy Lesane feels could prove to be very positive for them. I just haven't seen that yet.
Orange County, that 2-2 draw against Reno, and then the 5-3 loss against Tulsa. How about Tulsa, who's off to an incredibly hot start?
Told you, didn't I?
No, you didn't.
I told you.
You never said anything regarding the Roughnecks.
Going into midweek, I said, I'll tell you what, I've seen these guys in their first 2 games. They are very different. Don't be surprised. They are a playoff team. You questioned me.
You want to put some money on that right now?
Yeah, we already got another one going.
Yeah, we do.
We'll keep that one private, though.
Long throw in, Mizell off of his line. There's an authoritative punch from the keeper. Here's Contour. Working on David Estrada. Hugo Arellano. Kevin Alston. Veteran just probing. Now Hashimoto. Hashimoto receiving the utmost of praise from Brady Cloutier, especially at the end of 2018. Really helped dictate the tempo, especially when he was coming off the bench, particularly during the postseason, before they were upended by Phoenix in the Western Conference Final, as Kevon Frater taken down, but our referee says nothing in it. He looked good against Tulsa. He's looked extremely strong on the ball. Purposeful with his movement. Another guy who's really enjoying the opportunity. He's been granted the clean slate in New Mexico after things not necessarily working out with Phoenix. However, making a start in the USL Cup final due to the injury to Chris Cortez. Tommy Madden looking for an option. Juan Pablo Guzman chipping one over the top. Ryan Williams bringing it down on an excellent turn. Our referee takes a tumble. We'll play on. Delivery in for Frater. Skips all the way across. Alston still with a little bit of work to do. And cleared away.
Love the turn by Ryan Williams. How about that, huh?
Not nice. A turn from our referee, though.
No, not what you were looking for.
A bit more quality.
Yeah.
Santi Moar. Gio Ramos-Godoy gets the better of him. Only as far as Juan Pablo Guzman. Tete. Muhammad for Suggs now. Moar. Draws the double team, finding Madden, who's cut inside. Muhammad has his pass cut out. Now here comes Orange County. Contour. Just pushes it along. OCSC starting to show some teeth. Hashimoto wants it at the top of the box, and it's about 5 yards the other direction. Tommy Madden's clearance denied by Gio Ramos-Godoy is an irritant, to say the least, for the 21-year-old who's getting his first professional start.
Funny how quickly things can change in this game. We talk about the left side of New Mexico United, how strong they are. All of a sudden, things start to switch themselves up a bit. Josh Suggs starts to tuck in. Tommy Madden goes out there. If I'm Brandon Cloutier, I'm going after that side now. I want to take a chance and see what the youngster is made of. Worst case scenario, it's not as strong as it was, but you can find out exactly what the stranglehold is going to be back there, and you can cycle back around. Not the end of the world.
Direct ball for Frater. Madden was challenging it. No call from the referee. Juan Pablo Guzman now. Moar. It's drawing a lot of attention. Guzman in for Ryan Williams. Great first touch. David Estrada now. Lays it off, good ball in. The header is in for New Mexico United. And guess who? We want Moar. He can't help himself at the moment.
This guy is unstoppable. Everything he touches turns to New Mexico gold. How great is this? Santi Moar has done it with his left, done it from his right, and this time he goes to the air. What a show is he putting on. Manny Padilla whips this one in. Moar just drifts right to the top of the box, allows himself to drift inside. So difficult to mark, picks out the far post, and unfortunately, Aaron Cervantes, the youngster, is going to concede his first goal of the season.
Santi Moar, his 4th in 4 games, and still doesn't even lead the USL Championship Golden Boot race. And Devin, you were so kind enough to fill me in right before we went on air, given the result from Tulsa. I mean, what's going on at the left back position with the Roughnecks?
Your right back, Luca Lobo.
Right back, excuse me.
Well, I love going into the match. Michael Encian telling us, you know, we used Luca in the game versus Orange County out of necessity. We were a little thin at right back, had to limit some minutes, so I put Luca out there. Goes and scores 2 goals. I thought, you know, he's a pretty decent center back. Not bad 1v1 marking in training. I'll give him a shot. Locks Orange County down. Respectfully, they put in 2 goals, but then they dropped 5 on him.
Respectfully.
And they got a late one, but he gets 2 goals. Goes out midweek. I mean, that could have easily ended up a draw because of the momentum with Tulsa Roughnecks. He gets his 3rd goal. And then today, an assist and 2 more. So your makeshift outside back from the Tulsa Roughnecks, Luca Lobo, Golden Boot race leader in the clubhouse? No, but still, super fun to talk about, right?
Well, Santi Moar is nipping at his heels with his 4th. And now more question marks, I'm sure, being raised by the Orange County faithful, who find themselves trailing at home yet again. How about the ball for Manny Padilla on the first time? Wasn't bad, huh?
Delicious. On a platter, whipped in, stealing one of your
on a
vocab
platter.
words.
On a platter. I've heard that today somewhere before.
Don't look at me.
It might have been during the St. Louis Tampa Bay game.
Silver platter.
Well, you originally said platter, and then you wanted to go a step further, because the ball in from Lewis Hilton was on a gold platter, if we're going to be completely honest.
No.
No. Does it not work like that?
Englishmen don't like gold. Silver only. Platinum.
Silver only? Is that a knock on the English national team?
No. He's going to hunt you down after that one.
Kevin Alston bends it into the channel. Good defending from Josh Suggs, their makeshift center back. And fans, time is running out to secure a season seat membership for the 2019 season, including the buy 2 season seats, get 2 free offer. While there is still time, visit orangecountysoccer.com. Padilla. And Dev, something we're starting to notice with this New Mexico team, it's very fluid, their motion. A lot of play, I mean, you have your outside back Tommy Madden coming all the way inside. Santi Moar just dropped about 50 yards deep to come receive the ball. Always adjusting, always adapting to what the opposition is giving them. Now Ryan Williams leading the charge. Kevon Frater is standing in the way, and it goes out for Santi Moar. 1v1 with Kevin Alston. Great matchup here. Moar, what's he got in store? Lofts one towards the back post, hoping Frater might get to it. Back in, Ryan Williams shot, stopped before it could get to Cervantes. Padilla already has an assist tonight. Kevin Alston, it's shaky. Moar on the first time. And given his form, probably should have been in the back of the net.
He knows it. Hands to the head almost immediately in disbelief that he ruined this chance. This thing sits up for him nicely. Just right up over the top. It's got a bit of Old English to it as it comes over. Notice the spin when it comes to him. He has to take that off the volley. Needs to go far post there, but it's hard because you've got the defender stepping into you, so you want to hit it quickly, but you don't have the luxury of that. You have to place it far post.
And it's so straight.
Yep.
I mean, he would have had to hit that perfectly, a little bit on the outside of his boot. You think so?
You wonder why you don't go with the head there. I can tell you why.
Yeah.
Because outside of the header, we
well,
don't
I think
see
that might be the first header goal we've seen him have.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's a difficult ball to take either way. But like you said, given his recent run of results, you'd expect that almost assuredly to hit the back of the net.
And James Chambers, the captain of the Bethlehem Steel, where Santi Moar had enjoyed his 2018 season, sent out a nice tweet after Moar won the goal of the week saying, "Long may the good form last," because that's really what it is. He's just in a run of terrific form. And the question is, when will it come to an end? Because it does for all great players. I mean, you think about Chris Cortez last year, who was one of the leading goal scorers in the league for Phoenix. He was on one of those runs, and then it sort of stopped in the middle of the season, and he picked it back up once the postseason rolled around.
And then he got hurt.
And then he got hurt.
And then it stopped again. Well, that's just, you have to recognize as a player and as a coach when someone's very fit and top-notch, like Santi Moar is right now, feed it. Continuously push the ball to him. It's going to be difficult tonight because of that disconnection they don't have. Josh Suggs sliding inside, so Tommy Madden has to understand he's got to step up a bit more. But still happy the visitors are to be out 1-0 20 minutes into a match.
And we'll get another look at the injury and the challenge put in by Suggs. It was a clean one, but doesn't mean it doesn't hurt.
Yep. Kevin Alston outstretching a bit there, and well done by Josh Suggs.
Doesn't feel good at 30, nor at 22. Orange County will get an opportunity to get a quick rinse and talk some things over with Braden Cloutier. Alston, of course, who had that terrific career with the New England Revolution, over 140 appearances. Had a bout with a very rare but treatable form of leukemia in April 2013. And then made his way back onto the pitch the same year, Dev, and actually was voted the 2013 Comeback Player of the Year in Major League Soccer. And we actually had an interesting chat with Rick Schantz of Phoenix Rising, and Kevin Alston was available for a short period of time, and Rick Schantz wanted him but couldn't pull the trigger, and he ended up in Orange County.
He's hanging out at the mall.
Yep, here's Santi Moar on the move again. Wants it on his left, gets it all the way across, and cleared away by Contour, and Santi Moar is just wreaking havoc on every back line in the Western Conference that he sees.
Kevin Alston, see him immediately right there trying to grasp his breath as Santi Moar just dancing his way.
Alston looks to be in pain.
Yeah, that's after that tackle.
Frater, quick feet. Kevon Frater pulls it wide. Santi Moar liking the idea from the Jamaican, and Moar got to see one of those Kevon Frater shots find the back of the net, beating Carl Wazinski. And that was moments after Solomon Asante had just leveled it at 1-1. And there were a lot of Phoenix fans who were saying, where was that when you were in the red and black?
Well, unfortunately, only 3 goals over the span of 22 appearances for
and
him
none of them
last
were
year.
like that.
No, not whatsoever. 1 PK and 1 set-piece header, and then he had the strike.
And then he had the great little opportunity in the penalty area, actually against Colorado Springs. Sort of peeked over his shoulder and then buried it in the far post. And as Contour sends it away. Here's Muhammad. It's the start tonight. Padilla stepping up, and will recycle for New Mexico United. Josh Suggs getting forward from the center back position. Normally a left back, but Justin Schmidt injured during warm-ups. Insert Tommy Madden, who just had the ball hit off of his back heel.
And Orange County need to recognize that threat. As Tommy Madden stepped up, Santi Moar did not step back. So they started to come out in possession. You take one look up, you need to run out of midfield, making a diagonal run down into the corner to stretch this back line, make Suggs come out of position. It'll open up space in the middle.
Madden goes back for Cody Mizell. Cody with a neat first touch. Ramos Godoy. And it's back for the captain, Alston. Good pressure from New Mexico United, just squeezing Orange County into an unforced turnover. Thoughts on the youngsters' first 25 minutes?
Not the best, not the worst. They definitely haven't tried to attack him, have they?
But it's also to your point when we were first breaking the news is that it doesn't hurt to have a veteran like Josh Suggs standing right next to you.
No, not at all. Communication is the key there, and he's one of the best of them. Easy for you to dictate where you want each and every player to be when they're sitting in front of you. I'd be a bit more concerned if they had put him on the inside. That Suggs constantly trying to push up with Santi Moar. At this point in time, Suggs can see his mistakes happening and then adjust his own body based upon what's going on around him to account for the mistakes by Tommy Madden. The only real thing we've seen is it's the movement between he and Moar, where that relationship that Suggs and Moar have put together in the first 3 matches.
Hasn't bothered Santi.
No, but it's the caliber of player, it's the experience, it's the reps they're getting in training. All of that translated to positive results on the pitch, and you're just not going to see that tonight. All you want to make sure is that you're not giving up any makeshift opportunities over there. Things are going to happen on the pitch any point in time. You just have to cover each other, and so far you've seen Suggs doing that.
Moar is stripped. Orange County will try to recycle on New Mexico United coming with that press, and you would expect nothing less from a Mike Jeffries disciple as Josh Suggs is putting on a technical clinic in the moment.
Another level right now for that kid.
You see a lot of glimpses of what the Charlotte Independents tried to accomplish under Mike Jeffries in a Troy Lissain team. Center backs are split on either side of the penalty area. Outside backs love to get forward, and also the press is there, especially when they lose it in the opposition's defensive third. They'll go right after the ball when they give it away.
the biggest difference you see between that and what they had at Charlotte, injuries, age, depth. You have youngsters who are healthy, and they've got a pretty decent roster. They're not super deep, but Charlotte ran, that's Frater coming in from an offside position back over. Charlotte ran 7-8 quality with a dabble of 3 or 4 depending on the lineup. Your bench was maybe 1 or 2 players you could bring in. That's not the case here. They've got a quality 11, 3, 4, 5 sitting behind, and if they can just get everybody healthy and maybe add 1 or 2 players to the equation, watch out.
Physical play starting to unfold here at Championship Soccer Stadium in Irvine, California. Again, I'm Tyler Terran. Sitting right next to me is the ex-German pro, Devin Kerr. Thank you so much for joining us. Santi Moar with the lone goal of the game. And as it stands, quite possibly the second win of the season for New Mexico. And Devin Kerr has officially broken out the dance moves.
It's a continuation of the wedding celebration. A friendly little nudge there by Ramos Godoy. He had a nice little curler too. Wasn't as good as Moar's, but he held his own.
And he was somebody who came up in a lot of our conversations with Braden Cloutier last year as somebody who probably deserved to get more minutes, but just because of all the talent that they had on that roster, I mean, it just wasn't going to happen. Hashimoto skips away from Juan Pablo Guzman, but then gives it away.
It was interesting to see how Braden was going to assemble his squad this year based upon the results of last. And, you know, he said going into the offseason, they knew, they signed Aiden Quinn before the end of last because they had the option on him, and they picked him up right around early to mid-October before the end of playoffs, start of playoffs, excuse me. And then he said, look, we had 3 guys bring Aiden Quinn into that situation. We had 3 that we knew we wanted, and we could only keep 2. Based upon Edie Voltson's season last year,
he was on the top of everybody's wish list.
Thoughts about possibly going to the MLS, other options around the USL. They had an amicable relationship. It was a decent separation. He said, we wish you the best of luck. And he said that at the end of the day, I can only keep 2 of 3. They got 2 pretty good ones in Michael Seaton and Aiden Quinn.
Both the double-digit goal scorers from a year ago, and of course Aiden Quinn, part of that double crew. 2 of them on the same team. Edie Voltson and Aiden Quinn as Hashimoto whips this one in. There was contact at the back post, still loose, and finally Ryan Williams able to clear the New Mexico United line. Long-range effort, blocked in front, still trouble for New Mexico, and Orange County starting to put the clamps down on the visitors. And it's really the first sign of sustained life we've seen from the home side in Orange County.
Just a barrage of shots coming in one after another. Ryan Williams thankfully clears this over the end line. There was a large group in front of Cody Mizell, had to deal with a boatload of traffic, shot after shot, and this is the last one. There's a deflection. Mizell goes to ground. Williams just pushes it over the line.
Another corner all the way through. Cody Mizell says, let's get it out. I'll tell you what, he's one of the more fiery and animated keepers in the USL Championship, Cody Mizell. Not afraid to get in your face, let his defenders know whether they've done something right or done something wrong. Native of Woodstock, Georgia, 27 years of age. Had 16 appearances with Tampa Bay last year. Played his college ball at Clemson.
One of those boys on this roster that have some Charlotte experience a few years ago with Ian Mike Jeffries.
It's hard to find somebody who doesn't have some sort of tie to Charlotte on this roster.
That's crazy,
whether it be
right?
with the Charlotte Eagles or the Independents. I mean, Troy Lesesne knows his guys, and he went out and got them. And the biggest thing that he told us was just, listen, I wanted to go out and get good guys with good character. And obviously we're good footballers, but, you know, all of the other stuff would come into play.
That seems to be the common core of a lot of squads nowadays, where you speak to these coaches and they're not just looking for talent, they're looking for people. And they're finding out what personalities, both on and off the field, best fit their system. So you'll get, I'm not going to name specific players. I don't want to get myself in trouble there. You'll pick some guys out and the talent pool is extremely high, but maybe doesn't necessarily fit the culture that your club is about. So maybe you drop down talent level, not talking about anybody on the field right now, I'm saying generically. Maybe you drop the talent, go from a 9 to a 7, but as a person, they jump up to a 9 or a 10, and you can kind of see the progression throughout the entire situation. Just everybody steps up a notch. That's where you get quality dressing rooms where family-oriented guys hang out, guys live together. It's the fun part of the game that goes on behind the scenes that fans don't get to be involved with. You know, they don't see the camaraderie with all of these guys, the bantering that goes on in training, the fun that you have outside of the beautiful game.
Kevin Alston forced to go negative. Wow, that is really close to Kevon Frater. He picks it off, and Frater will thump it home. It's a disastrous mistake from Kevin Alston. Kevon Frater says thank you very much. His second goal this season, and New Mexico United with a 2-goal lead in the 33rd.
We're going to have to talk to Frater about his samba moves with the Ghanaian as he calls over Rashid Tete. Kevin Alston just gets picked off here. Kevon Frater reads it the whole way. If you put pace on that, that's difficult for the youngster to handle. And Frater just plays right on the shoulder of Leonardo, steps in behind him. Easy pickings. Good thing he put enough power, wasn't sure it was going to go in.
Do you think that he has a right-footed goal bonus? No, I'm serious. Why would he take that with his right foot if he's right there?
Bonuses like this, like that in this game do exist, but
that's what I'm
not
saying.
exactly sure they've funneled into the USL contracts yet.
Oh, goodness.
We're still on 1-1, so.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you had a bonus that if you even thought about using your right foot, you got like $100.
Still waiting on that check.
Sure you are. So I asked you this question during pregame, Dev, and I'm going to ask you again, as Orange County is down 2-0 at home and have conceded 2 goals already in 34 minutes. Is there cause for concern in Irvine?
No. Still no. You've got...
And you're usually such a cynic when it comes to stuff like that.
I'm the first one to jump on it, and you know that. 3 different back lines in 3 different games. You've got 4 guys who have played center back. This is the first time your center backs and your 2 outside backs have played together. Owusu Ansah, by the way, has also played left mid. Kevin Alston started at left back. He is a right back, and we know that, but he started at left back early on. Ramos Godoy was playing right back versus Reno. That gives you an idea of how thin they are right now. A couple guys making their debuts for this season. I don't see it yet. You get Christian Duke back. Aiden Quinn's not even in the 18. I mean, that gives you an idea of the thought process of tonight's game. So, no Michael Seaton. No, he's on international duty.
But that's an avoidable mistake, though. You know what I mean? It just seems like
that's poor play by Alston.
There's a negative aura about Orange County at the moment, and we didn't really see much of that last year, with the exception of maybe the first week or 2, if that. Even they got a draw against Phoenix in the first game of the season.
Yeah, 3 games in last year, they had a win, a loss, and a draw. I mean, I say if because we saw a great resurgence in the second half versus Reno. Now that was on the road, and now they're at home with the support of their fans. But if they lose tonight, they're tying the worst start in club history of 2016, which was a draw and 2 losses, excuse me, in the first 3 games.
Ryan Williams might need some medical attention. Sports Clips 5-game flex plan is the perfect ticket program for your busy schedule. You choose the matchups you want to see for the schedule that works for you. Plans start at just $95 per seat. Pick one up at orangecountysoccer.com. I've been mighty impressed with Ryan Williams. And when I saw that he was getting the start and Chris Wehan wasn't necessarily seeing as much playing time as we thought that the Rookie of the Year from 2017 was going to see, sort of thought to myself and said, this kid must be pretty good, Ryan Williams.
Came up with all that on your own, huh?
You know,
it's amazing
it's
the
just,
work you get done without me.
Yeah, yeah. Much more productive.
For me with Ryan Williams, it's the roles that he's had to fulfill. Because tonight he's playing up with Kevon Frater. Last week he came in as a substitute. They were limiting his minutes because of 3 games in 10 days. And week 1, he was starting alongside Wehan, and they would play a bit high and low. They had Juan Pablo sitting below them, and then the 2 of them would kind of run free. Wehan was playing a bit higher, almost in a false 10 type role. Wehan very much fulfilling the number 8 spot. I like him as the 8. I'm not a fan of him up top. I think he's doing very well for himself, but I like him more as the 8, where he can share the load offensive and defensive, and it's not really put on his shoulders to just go one direction.
Tete clears it away. Tommy Madden handles the pressure nicely. Orange County down 2-0, goals from Kevon Frater and Santi Moar. The former of those goals was just a horrendous mistake from a guy who's usually so sure-footed in Kevin Alston.
There's the fluidity you're talking about. Really impressive. Because it was
it's fun to watch.
This started as a mistake from Tommy Madden, where Josh Suggs ends up marking one-on-one, but then everybody just shifts back around. Juan Pablo ends up in the right back spot. Josh Suggs, they go into a 3-back system real quick. They cycle back around, and they've still maintained possession.
And Suggs just made about a 35-yard run to get back into the center back position. I mean, it's...
And look at the space on the field. Madden has now come to the near touchline, and they've gone right back into their positions. This is one spot that you'll see with Juan Pablo, where when he drops deep, he tends to do it more so on the right side of the pitch. So keep an eye on that. He'll come deep on the right and look to spray a long ball diagonally to the left.
I wonder why that is. Number 11's pretty decent when he's got some space, huh? Here's Josh Suggs. Trying to pick out Santi Moar. Good sliding challenge on this near side from Harry Forster. Ramos Godoy. Finding the 28-year-old English native. Back for Ramos Godoy, but cut out by Tete. Stays in play. Pardon, that was Salim Muhammad.
What you're seeing on the ball right now is the Orange County of 2018. I mean, how many times did we see them dance over the ball and make teams chase?
A couple of quick strikes and then just completely take the air out of the game.
Sit back, pass after pass. They go up 1-2-0. Then the next thing you know, they're 60%, 65% possession into a game, doubling teams in passes.
Look at Tommy Madden drawing the attention of the referee, and he's going to bring it all the way back, and that's actually fair play to the referee as Hashimoto was grabbing onto Madden's jersey. That's an astute observation. You're good at this.
Told you. It's amazing what you can do by yourself and what I do without you.
Frater putting pressure on Alston. 5 minutes remaining until we're knocking on the door of halftime. Hitter from Mariano. Falls for Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams Thought he got fouled in the middle of the park. Forster. Hashimoto. Patience from Orange County. New Mexico sitting in a pretty deep block, especially up 2-0 on the road. Just trying to get to halftime with the current result. Bent in, Mizell off of his line. Orange County Soccer Club group tickets are a great way to enjoy an evening of soccer with your community. Save up to 50% off single game prices when you schedule a group of 10 or more. Ask about game experiences and group leader incentives. Contact us at orangecountysoccer.com. Ramos Godoy couldn't quite get around Rashid Tete, as Tommy Madden is striding up the near side, but runs out of real estate. Good defending from Madden. In for Kevon Frater. Just trying to hold things up. Getting to the outside, and Kevin Alston almost wrapped him up with a pretty good looking form tackle. And the foul is going to go against Alston. Are the Rams in the market for a cornerback? What are the Vikings
Everything.
on the market?
Everything. Just don't get me started. Just before coming on air, we're chatting with our producer, and he says, what are the Vikings need? I said, you know, I've unsubscribed from the Daily Norseman. Got bigger things to worry about. I'm married now.
You need to worry about that?
You've been around her.
I have. She's lovely. Well, a goal would do Orange County a world of good right now, down 2-0 at home, still looking for their first win of the new campaign. Of course, dealing with some injuries and lack of depth on the roster at the moment, as Devin alluded to earlier, but I'm sure Braden Cloutier still has expectations way greater than the product that we've seen in the first half. As Juan Pablo Guzman wins it back cleanly. New Mexico United possibly looking for a third, but Contour cuts it out. Good defensive play from Manny Padilla as Orange County earned themselves a corner in the 45th minute. We're being told we'll just have 1 minute of stoppage time. Corner lofted in, won by Frater, actually back towards goal. Ryan Williams gets a touch to it. Long throw in, bounces in the area. Dangerous here. Hashimoto trying to come away with it, blocked off the line. Believe it was Muhammad. Now here's Contour trying to get to the byline. His delivery is denied. Most likely the last kick of the first half. Oh, the momentum Orange County would carry into the locker room should they get this. Here it is, the header, well wide. And I have a feeling that will do it, and it will. New Mexico United, once again, a really impressive half of football. Santi Moar got things started early on, then it was Kevon Frater making the most of a terrible mistake from Kevin Alston. And New Mexico United with a 2-0 lead on the road at the home of the defending Western Conference regular season champs. Devin Kerr, your thoughts on it all?
Probably the only time you'll hear these words out of me. I'm speechless. I am shocked at how flat Orange County SC is. We've seen some issues in the first 2 games, but this is the dullest performance I've seen of them in 45 minutes so far. New Mexico United on the road, they are getting better each and every week. Troy Lesesne is going to go in, sing their praise, but tell them to lock it up. I still would challenge this left-hand side. Tommy Madden's been suspect, but Braden Cloutier will go back to the drawing board. He's going to talk about energy, emotion, communication. They'll come back out a different squad in the second 45.
Well, New Mexico United enjoying their time here in Orange County, and it's Santi Moar who got things started. At 4th goal in 4 games, then Kevon Frater made it 2. We'll step aside for halftime.
What makes my famous brisket, chicken marinade, and punch so good? A lemon lime secret ingredient I'm never going to tell. 7-Up. Who's hungry? Do more with 7.
The Orange County Soccer Club Pro Experience membership, designed to accelerate your training and enable you to reach the professional performance levels of the biggest leagues around the world. Membership includes free tickets to 7 home matches, training sessions with coaches and technical director Franz Hoke, live events with leading soccer minds like Brad Friedel, Raphael Wicki, and Keisuke Honda, and many additional benefits. Go to orangecountysoccer.com/pro experience.
Back here at Championship Soccer Stadium, and Orange County right now, well, not so good in the first half. Down 2-0 to New Mexico United. Santi Moar and Kevon Frater with the goals. And Devin, I mean, we talked about it in terms of, you know, the roster and what it's looked like for Braden Cloutier, but it's become very apparent in the first 2.5 games that they're missing some pieces from last season from a quality standpoint. And, I mean, when you look at these 3 and what they brought to the table from back to front, quite literally, the only piece missing up here would be a midfielder. I mean, this was a core of the defending Western Conference regular season champs.
They are missing a midfielder, Christian Duke. Fortunately enough, he's with the club, but
he's
injured,
so
he's not there. So you've lost 4 massive pieces. Cronali on loan with Indy 11 from the Columbus Crew. Indy Volton signed to Indy 11, and Andre Rawls, who is now with the Colorado Rapids, who's on loan with Colorado Springs Switchbacks. That is just 3 massive pieces that have disappeared. They've kept some good ones. Braden Cloutier says that he thinks their core is fantastic. Loves the fact that they were able to sign 14, 15 guys from the squad last year. But there's got to be some sort of spirit behind it, because it's going from bad to worse, and it's doing it quickly. Again, the sample size is small, but as a manager, you still don't want to see what you saw in that opening half.
And if you're a manager and your name is Troy Lesesne, and you're New Mexico United,
book it.
This is exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, this is great. You know, they're the opposite direction. They started flat versus Fresno. It was touch and go versus Phoenix. It was a bit better versus Tulsa, but every game that we've seen so far, they've slacked off. So the true test for them, as brilliant as the opening 45 minutes was, they're not exactly a second half team. You know, when you come out of the locker room, you're hoping to regroup and get back to the task at hand. Hopefully they come out and they're spirited just like Orange County. Orange County will not bow out of this match. They have too much talent for it. So can Troy Lesesne get his squad to be able to put together 90 minutes? That right now is the true question.
Well, it is pretty impressive from New Mexico United, as you can see. I mean, Albuquerque native Devin Sandoval scoring the first goal, first win on ESPN Game of the Week. Santi Moar now has 4 goals. Cody Mizell has been getting it done in between the sticks. It's really just been an impressive start. This has been by far the most successful expansion side in the first 3 weeks. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous when it's coming out of my mouth, but I mean, it's still relevant. Yeah. It's still relevant. And right now, New Mexico United, very relevant here in Irvine, as they have a 2-0 lead over Orange County. We'll step aside yet again, and we'll be back in a few moments.
What does it take to be a champion? Skill, strength, vision, an unrelenting desire to prove your worth week in, week out. An army of fans behind you screaming your name. And sometimes just a bit of luck. For 631 games over the course of the next 9 months, 22 players will step on the field to answer the question, why will it be you and not them? And the 36 teams, from the champions of yesterday to the challengers of tomorrow, only one will be right.
To soccer fans across the United States, we want to say thank you for helping to create the most impressive, well-attended USL opening weekend in our history. With your support, we welcomed record crowds of over 91,000 fans to USL stadiums last weekend, and with over 3 million expected by the end of this season. This is a special moment, and if you're new to the USL, you're joining us at the most exciting time in league history. With more clubs and more games than ever before, the USL Championship is establishing itself as one of the premier second divisions in professional soccer around the world. In 2019 alone, we've welcomed to the USL family 7 new expansion teams in New Mexico, El Paso, Austin, Memphis, Birmingham, Hartford and Loudoun. That's 7 new communities who now have professional soccer in their own backyard, and 7 new communities where local youth can now see a direct path to fulfilling their dreams of becoming professionals themselves. We're also reaching more people than ever before, courtesy of our partnership with ESPN+. Every single USL Championship game available online, and another 8 now shown on national television. More fans than ever before now can watch USL soccer from the comfort of their own home. So thank you, soccer fans. Thank you for joining us for what will be the biggest season in USL history.
Great stuff from USL and from Jake Edwards, as always, as the fans are enjoying a little halftime show and enjoying some beverages, some snacks. Looks like there's some pizza up there. I now have Devin Kerr's attention.
Hello.
You awake over there?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm hungry again.
You're hungry again. Hungry for USL news and notes? Because that's what we got. That's what's on the menu. March international window. CONCACAF Nations League, a big part of that, Dev. I mean, just littered all over the world, USL Championship players. Brian Brown, Player of the Week. And how about Louisville City's new stadium progress, the virtual tour of that just glorious SSS, soccer-specific stadium.
Butchertown, they're throwing that thing up quickly as well. I want to look at the March international window. 38 players, and every single player that we've interviewed so far this year says that each and every time they come out to play, the level gets better. Not each year, every time they come out. They're seeing different teams, higher levels of play, and you're seeing that through scorelines. Real Monarchs ran through the Galaxy today, 5-0. They finally got their 3 points. 1 win.
I'm not surprised that they're struggling given how many pieces they've lost.
No, they've lost a lot, but you still have the likes of Michael Chang, Master Cajer, and
what do we like tomorrow?
Oh, Nashville, Red Bull too. That's an interesting
decent
one.
Fixture, huh?
That could easily be a track meet, but OKC, that's the key factor in the West. What are they going to be? Because they were up and down last year. But Steve Cook, he found a way to start getting some momentum at the end of the year, and I think they could be a force to be reckoned with in the West.
And if they had gotten just 2 or 3 wins in that first stretch where they only got 1, they easily could have been in the postseason.
1 in their first 9. And still, we're nipping at the
heels. Is that a big enough sample size for you?
That's rough.
That's going to do it for the USL block. Folks, second half kickoff is right around the corner. Orange County staring up at a 2-0 deficit.
At Hogue Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you.
The Orange County Soccer Club Pro Experience membership, designed to accelerate your training and enable you to reach the professional performance levels of the biggest leagues around the world. Membership includes free tickets to 7 home matches, training sessions with coaches and technical director Franz Hoek, live events with leading soccer minds like Brad Friedel, Raphael Wicki, and Keisuke Honda, and many additional benefits. Go to orangecountysoccer.com/pro experience.
Almost set for the second half here at Championship Soccer Stadium in beautiful Irvine, California. But the play from the home side, Orange County, has been anything but beautiful thus far. And quite the opposite for New Mexico United on the road and looking for their second win in club history. And they are 45 minutes home to that win. And we'll take a look at how the first 45 minutes went down. Again, I'm Tyler Terrence. He's Devin Kerr. And the first half highlights are brought to you by 7-Up. Do more with 7-Up. And in the early going, Orange County, a couple of early, I don't even want to call it a half chance, quarter chance. Is that a thing?
You listening? Yeah, that wasn't that great. I mean, it was not a bad move by Harry Forster cutting in. He and Godoy trading blows on the left and right-hand side. Godoy would eventually make his way back over to the right, and then the visitors just kind of took over the game, didn't they? Santi Moar. That's probably the biggest key here, is that he's still able to make an impact on the match, even though they had the scratch by Schmidt. Josh Stugg steps inside, Tommy Madden goes to left back, and still out on his own, he finds a way. Now it's a brilliant ball served in, but he still finds a way, given his small stature, to find the back of the net. They go up 1-0. They were not done though. They continued to push the envelope. This team is all about up-tempo. When they score a goal, they want to put their foot down and continue to push on the gas. There was no case today of any difference whatsoever. Santi Moar, good ball to the back, very difficult to finish, tries to, puts it over the top of the bar.
I'll tell you what, Kevin Alston has had his hands full, and he has not played a great game so far.
That's when, as a teammate, though, you have to understand, give him some help. Leonardo has not done him any favors, but it's his first game. He's not fully fit. Braden Cloutier telling us that he was going to get the start tonight, but the guy's only been in camp for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. He has just come over. You move him next to Loni Arellano. Again, the back line, it's the first time they've been together. I don't care how many times you train. You go out on the pitch, it is totally different. The sample size very small, and you're seeing that being exploited all over by a very impressive offensive-minded New Mexico United squad.
And Orange County hasn't even challenged Cody Mizell yet, as you got to look at the halftime stats, which are brought to you by Pro Sport. And I mean, this is just shocking, regardless of the pieces that they lost, but just knowing Braden Cloutier and the talent that they have, the resources that they put into this club, it's shocking that they've had this slow of a start.
And those 6 shots, 4 of them came in that one flurry. It was one after another after another. There was a barrage of shots.
2 of them were blocked.
Blocked. Yep. And they went over the line, came to a corner flag. This will be the biggest key factor of the game, the next 10 minutes. If they come out in the next 10 minutes and do not show something in New Mexico, comes with that high tempo, watch out, because they'll find a way to get a third.
Already a physical start, as that challenge from Harry Forster sees Salim Muhammad hit the deck in a hurry in the first 15 seconds of the second half. Again, Tyler Terrence along with the ex-German pro Devin Kerr, thank you so much for tuning in and taking time out of your Saturday evening to enjoy the USL Championship with us. And this New Mexico United team, I mean, they are just grabbing headlines, turning heads. However you want to phrase it, they're fun to watch. Chance here for Orange County, snuffed out by Juan Pablo Guzman. And the foul's going to be called back. New Mexico wanted to play advantage, and Ryan Williams was ready to go on the other end.
Well, the good news is fans still spirited. They know their squad have been up and down in the results this year. Again, first game of the season on the road to Ian Russell and Reno, 1868, and wasn't even necessarily the second 45. It was more like the second 25 as they were in and out come the second half, but found a way to claw back in, showed great character, get 2 game-tying goals. One from Michael Seaton and one from Aiden Quinn, but that will not be the case as neither one in the 11 tonight. Braden Cloutier telling us that similar circumstances took place in their game versus Tulsa, where they came out, they were the best squad for 44 minutes.
Ryan Williams finding Frater. He has to send it across, but nobody was there. Let me ask you this, is there anything different he can do there? Going full speed, the ball's probably going to travel out of play, but there's nobody home, even if you are going to send it across. I mean, it was great build-up play, but just nobody was following up.
Step on it, bring it back, wait for everybody to come up a bit. You don't just play
it. Is it that easy, full speed, and you know, like he's getting there at the byline?
He can turn on a dime, and he's got about 3 feet or so. We've seen him do it before. He's more than capable. Loves to put that ball, bring it over to his right foot. And you're just playing it across because that's what protocol tells you to do. If no one's there, does it really matter?
Of course not.
Exactly. So why play it?
Your guess is as good as mine. Here's Tete. Padilla. And Tete calling for the foul. 23-year-old from Accra, Ghana. Kevon Frater sending it over for Ryan Williams, and a big save from the 17-year-old Cervantes. Well, that might be the play that Orange County need to wake them up a little bit. Your keeper is barely old enough to see a rated R movie, keeping it a 2-0 game.
That's exactly why he's the youngest signee in club history. What a good save is that. Oh my. Made himself big, able to get his glove on it. He's furious with his back line. I don't care how old you are. That is a great save, and he's now got to step up. He's shown the emotion. He's shown the performance. Now it's time for everybody else to get in line and follow suit. Good stuff by Aaron Cervantes.
Stays in play. It's off Ryan Williams' face. Good play from Frater. Gets it right back. And he is fouled by Charlie Adams. One of those pieces we talked about, the Monarchs lost in the 2018-19 offseason. 24-year-old from Hendon, England.
How about that midfield? They're a bit overhaul. Velasquez gone. He's gone to the far east. Portillo goes up to Real Salt Lake. Charlie Adams departs.
Here's Tommy Madam battling from the left back position, excuse me. Coming all the way over to the right-hand side. Here's Forster. Fouled it up by 3 different New Mexico United players, and now a long throw-in opportunity for Orange County. Owusu-Ansah Kantor can throw these in on a rope. Cody Mizell come and get it. And he's kicked after the fact and rolling around a little bit. He's claiming he got kicked in the face and now waving for medical attention. As the big center back, Leonardo, 31-year-old from Sao Paulo, Brazil, who made over 50 appearances with the Houston Dynamo, the player in question.
And the ball catches him on the way up. Mizell had both of his gloves over the ball, and I can tell you what, right or wrong, he's not someone I want to go toe-to-toe with.
No.
It's the former Galaxy Defender of the Year within the club back in 2015. Three-time MLS Cup champion with the Galaxy as well.
His first professional goal off a David Beckham cross.
Look at that. That's some work right there from you. Good job. Really, was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you think I'm lying?
Usually I show up. I don't think I'm going to learn anything from you. There's our referee having a few
you learn what not to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Actually tore his ACL and LCL 15 days later after his first professional goal. Really hindered him his first 2 years as a professional. And then, as Devin said, ends up being the Los Angeles Galaxy Defender of the Year in 2013 as Frater's going to come on and replace Hashimoto in the 53rd. I'm sure that was a bit of an experiment from Braden Cloutier and had that in the back of his mind. And Frater onto the scene here in the 53rd. Interesting change.
Very interesting change. And this was someone, when they picked him up, I kind of turned my head. I was shocked they were able to get their hands on him. Liam Frater, between Premier League, Championship, League One, 357 appearances in England.
Decent.
42 goals, 33 assists. It's a guy statistically making an impact on a game about 1 every 5 matches, and he could be a wild card for this Orange County squad this year.
And that player substitution was brought to you by the big ones. Fuel Rewards corner kick on the way. Whipped in at the near post, won initially by Orange County. Here's Frater. And a little bit too cute from the Jamaican. You all right over there?
Still trying to figure out what they're looking to accomplish here so far. Not any good looks. First 2 minutes weren't bad from Orange County, but Mexico United starting to take over again.
Moar couldn't quite corral it, and he had David Estrada running with him. The free kick will come out the other way.
It's a good opportunity for the two big boys at the back, Leonardo and Arellano. Arellano on loan from the Galaxy to really start to communicate a bit more and impose their will on the match. I know it's center backs, but they've got some experience. Arellano obviously a bit younger, but still done well for the Galaxy so far. Got some reps with Los Dos and Chivas and Galaxy product. Starts from the back and works its way forward, and especially when you have a 17-year-old in goal. So many times last year we saw that from Thomas Rawls. Andre Rawls, excuse me, able to get them going, and that's not the case this year, so good opportunity for the big boys at the back to step up.
There's the long throw in. Forster got a touch to it, clipped back in. David Estrada, and brought down by Tommy Madden. And it's out of reach of Ryan Williams. Championship Soccer Stadium is a great place to catch live pro soccer in the OC. Pick up a family ticket pack for as little as $40 for 4 tickets, plus parking is free at the OC Great Park. Purchase tickets at orangecountysoccer.com/promotions. The referee, no choice but to blow his whistle. Darwin Jones. I mean, how many times have we called his name tonight?
Not enough. He's been quiet, but
lack of delivery, lack of movement, combination.
Yeah, there's a lot. And interestingly enough, though, opening 5 minutes, you saw he and Ramos Godoy going back and forth from left to right. That ceased. Ramos Godoy almost exclusively on the right-hand side now.
Bent in by Forster, won by Orange County, but straight into the hands of Cody Mizell. And we're gonna have another stoppage. And I believe it's Rashid Tete who went down. Gets a helping hand from Cody Mizell and looks like he'll be able to continue. Tete played his college ball at High Point University for the Panthers from 2015 to 2018. As we mentioned before, 23 years old from Accra, Ghana. Played some, what was then PDL with the Des Moines Menace and the Carolina Dynamo. Boy, Des Moines Menace is just a team that constantly pops up. Guys all over the USL Championship have spent at least 1 year there.
Big names, right? Des Moines Menace. The trendy one now is Tormenta out of Georgia.
Yep.
They're a big name. Michigan Bucks as well.
Michigan Bucks.
Yeah, they can fit their way into that argument.
Kevon Frater, a late challenge, and that's a bit naughty from the Jamaican. Already has a goal tonight, and now add a little bit of mustard to his resume.
Just no need by Kevon Frater in this situation. As he goes low, just extends his boot out. It's very dangerously close to the head. And there's the knee coming right across his body. And you see that from him. It's kind of, his mind just shuts down at periods of time in a match, and he drifts away, and almost, you look at him and you see in the Phoenix Rising match where good balls in, goes balls out, had the otherworldly strike. Just lit that up, and then all of a sudden it was flick of a wrist. New player, totally different person. Started to fall out of the match, and then emotion really takes over his body and his performance.
Bent in from Forster, not an across. Orange County have one back. It's Darwin Jones.
We said first 15, 20 minutes had to make a difference. New Mexico United proving over and over they're not a second half team. Things have slacked off. Just a nice little ball back in, go get it. Harry Forrester says, no problem. Darwin Jones, we haven't called your name enough. How about this one? Let's put it in lights. Something for the County Line Coalition to cheer about as the home squad gets within one.
Darwin Jones, just 2 goals in 16 appearances in 2018, the 26-year-old from Chicago. Has half of his goal production in the 3rd game of the season now.
Keep a keen eye. Now you want to see what really goes down. Who's going to step up? We've seen this chapter before by New Mexico United, where they just slowly walk off into the sunset with their tail tucked between their legs. Only once have they been able to get 3 points out of their almost masterful performances we've seen them put together. Troy Lesane was concerned by that and said that they've been working on it in training. It's hard to train when you have 3 games in 10 days. You can really only go through some tactical stuff, but to be honest, it's all about recovery and what attrition, what your body's been through. Remember, 2 of those have been on the road, so they're just finding their ways to get back into these kinds of things.
Here's Contour, he's gonna let it fly, and it almost got a touch to it. It was Ramos Godoy who was just inches away from latching onto that contour shot, and it just needed a slight deflection. And it's amazing how a goal can change a game. That should be a saying.
Ghanaian just drifting up from the back line. Oh. Not a bad look, right? It's right there.
Right there. It almost goes underneath his foot.
Very, very close. Cody Mizell starting to shake in the knees a little bit. Some pressure being applied.
Long throw in again from Contour. It's giving New Mexico United some problems. Much better from OCSC now. Alston. Santi Moar, a heavy touch, still able to get it back. Kevon Frater pushing it in front of the Spaniard. Moar. Easy work for Cervantes. Darwin Jones just going right through Manny Padilla, but how's that for a challenge from Salim Ahmed? Late challenge. And Muhammad took a shot there. Yellow?
It looked late, didn't it? It looked like it warrants it, and it's not the first time we've seen it from an Orange County player. However, it is the first infraction from substitute Liam Trotter. So because of those circumstances, I can almost imagine that he's not going to pull the card. But we've seen it for less.
And it was, in fact, a yellow card on Liam Trotter. Make a change soon if you're Troy Lesane. Orange County threatening again, but Rashid Tete cleaning that up, slips on his way down. Darwin Jones being bothered a little bit by Juan Pablo Guzman, and it will be a throw-in for New Mexico United as last touch came off of the most recent goal scorer.
Good news for the visitors is you've still got that padding of the one-goal lead. Bad news is fourth game in a row you've been in this situation. 2 out of 3, they've faltered every single time. Lesane making changes coming down the stretch, not the right ones. We've talked about injuries and limiting minutes. You start to look down their bench. Weehan is one that comes to mind. Tony Solera had a great performance midweek versus Tulsa. He actually came off about 60, 65 minutes. He's
the birthday boy.
Yeah, birthday boy, that's right. 27th birthday today. Very defensive-minded midfielder that comes to mind.
And now the County Line Coalition starting to grow restless with lack of a call right in front of their territory here at Championship Soccer Stadium. Here's Forster. Really yet to see the best of him tonight. Forster curls it in. Awkward bounce. Tommy Madden, some work to do, and he's just going to shield it out. Good work.
Well done by the youngster in his first ever performance. I like the switch by Forrester and Ramos Godoy. And going back and forth again. Godoy was the one who knocked that ball back across to get the opening goal for Orange County.
And Joe Amico's going to come on and replace Kevin Alston. And you figure with a home side down 1 goal at their own home turf that it might be a bit more of an offensive change, but especially given the way that Brandon Cloutier's outside backs like to get forward, certainly not a bad choice to bring on Joe Amico, and to be quite honest, not one of the best performances we've seen from Kevin Alston in an Orange County uniform. And here is the birthday boy, and he's going to get an appearance here in the 67th minute and replace Kevon Frater, who was able to add his 2nd goal to his New Mexico United resume.
You'll probably see Soler tuck in right next to Juan Pablo Guzman. Guzman primarily floating around in that 6 on his own. They can go side to side now. It's going to make Ryan Williams' job up top a bit more difficult, as he's going to have to chase all on his own. Like to see Orange County bring their tempo up. Just push the pace. You know, you could literally stand on the sideline as a coach and start your stopwatch. Go for 7-8 minutes hard, play a higher line, press a bit here. You're giving them so much freedom to play with the ball. Cloutier has always been the one who's dictated to his opponents, and that's not the case tonight. Only for about a 10-minute spell have we seen some good stuff from the home squad.
Good turn from Soler, finding Santi Moar. He bends it in looking for Ryan Williams, but too close to Cervantes. And he wants to go quickly. Good distribution out of the back for Cantor. Santi Moar starting to labor a little bit. Darwin Jones gets the cross away, awkward bounce, handled by Josh Suggs. Header from Padilla, only as far as Cantor. Sustained pressure from the home side. Darwin Jones. Not a bad idea at all, just right out of the reach of Forster. Jones one more time. Left-footed delivery is not a bad one. Headed down, loose in front, and Ramos Godoy sends it into the next county. It's painful.
I can't even swing the other peg at it, son. Missed the first one, second one. All you have to do is sniff it across the line. Less than 6 yards out and just sails it over the bar.
Isn't it amazing? You can go from a nominee for goal of the week from 20 yards out, a curling, beautiful effort into the top corner, and then miss something like that.
Well, the good news is they're creating opportunities.
And New Mexico are giving them opportunities as well. Here's Harry Forster. He'll go for the curler, and it's saved by Cody Mizell, and we did have 2 balls on the field at once. Cody saved the right one.
He does this right. Cody Mizell's guessing a bit here. He's lucky Forster doesn't try and go a bit tricky and bring this back across his body. Mizell starts to move before it's even hit.
Do you like that out of a keeper?
I don't mind it. And to be honest, we couldn't see his viewpoint. When he's squared up with the attacker, he could have been reading his hips easily. It was different. He's in traffic, and 9 times out of 10, to get the right amount of swerve on that, you're going to go near post because your body has the easy one. The defender's closing him down. So for you to have the wherewithal and the vision to then hit that quickly and bring that up across your body, across you, very tricky.
Not to say it hasn't been done before, because we see it a decent amount, but
yeah,
if you lean in that other way and he decides to go near post, you're in some hot water. And Cody Mizell is being called into action more times than not now as we're heading down the stretch. Less than 20 minutes to play. Darwin Jones just a few moments ago drawing one back for Orange County. And ever since, it's been the home side that's been on the front foot, and New Mexico United scrambling to try to protect this one-goal lead. As Solaire's putting pressure on the OCSC back line, and it's good work from Orange County to go back for their 17-year-old keeper, Cervantes. And it looks like Joshua Gross is getting set to come on for New Mexico. Joshua Goss, excuse me. Not a back down, dangerous again. Josh Suggs to the rescue. New Mexico United give the ball away once more. It's Santi Moar who's responsible for the turnover. Contour now. Orange County growing into this game by the second. One by Tete. Back in from Trotter. Muhammad challenges. Miscommunication from New Mexico United. Forster shedding off Solaire. Forster back on his left. Still Forster, nothing in it. Dangerous there. Orange County are just all over New Mexico at the moment. Now we're going to have a substitution on the Orange County side of things as Dupree is going to come on and replace Charlie Adams in the middle of the field. So another offensive switch for Brady Cloutier. And Josh Goss is going to make his professional debut and replace the main man for New Mexico at the moment, Santi Moar, who again leaves the field with another goal under his belt. And a substitution that's brought to you by the big ones. And what can we expect out of the young debutant Josh Goss, Devin Kerr?
Well, New Mexico native has got his work cut out for him, doesn't he? Debut 74 minutes into a match on the road. Up one goal, but the home squad is pressing. High energy is going to be nice, and you want to make sure that keeps his emotions at bay. But communication is going to be the clear line here as to whether or not he succeeds. All alone out on that left-hand side, going to be a difficult task for him.
And Mizell able to hang on to it. Joe Amico now a heavy touch. Josh Suggs able to clean it up. Here's Dupree. First involvement, not a bad cross. Still with Orange County. And they certainly look like they're going to go ahead and get the equalizer. Can New Mexico United absorb some of their best blows of the night? Amico. Trotter. Less than 15 minutes remaining now, plus stoppage time. Big collision. Orange County go quickly, but the referee should stop it, and he will because of a head injury. Both players end up popping up and being fined.
Braden Cloutier starting to have a go at the fourth official on the near touchline. That ball stopped, and they've got everybody set up. Want the referees to get it in gear as precious time starts to tick off the clock.
And now Sam Hamilton is going to make his way out onto the pitch. It'll be interesting to see what position. Would not be surprised if he came on, replaced Madden, and Suggs moves out to the left. Or he's going to replace Ryan Williams.
So keep an eye. They did this versus Tulsa, and they just stuck him in back. Every week, it's almost like Lesane, and I understand what he's trying to do.
Loose in front. New Mexico got ahead to it. It was Josh Suggs, I believe. And Mizell thwarts yet another Orange County attack.
It's almost as if Lesane is panicking. The moves are correct, but every time they make them, they allow the home squad to become the aggressor, and they keep a deeper and deeper line. New Mexico United has been most dangerous when the ball's at their feet and they're dictating the terms. Every substitution that they've made, tactically, in theory, it makes sense, but every time they've done it in each and every game, they start to retreat more and more and allow more opportunities for the other squad to become the aggressor. Not saying that Lesane's wrong here, just saying that the execution lacking for sure.
I mean, is it sort of like the opposition is smelling blood in the water and just want to go after them that much more?
We can see it as well. They start to push up, and Orange County is going to take some risks with between 5 and 10 minutes to go. Right now, this is really the first time that we've seen in the last 15 minutes that Orange County is sitting back a bit, and United are allowed to knock the ball around. What this will allow is Josh Suggs to slide out a bit more, and they can push Madden a bit higher. And Sam Hamilton can tuck right in next to Rashid Tete.
Mexico United with their first at least somewhat threatening look in Orange County's defensive third in quite some time. David Estrada now around the first defender.
I'll get it. A little souvenir for the fans.
Fatigue, big part of what's going on with New Mexico right now.
Well, again, we've referenced it before. 3 games in 10 days will make anybody wins. Even if you didn't even make the 18 every time, the travel schedule is still difficult in any given week, let alone when you're a part of 3 matches. Now, not everybody out there right now has been, but David Estrada every match, Ryan Williams, Josh Suggs, Santi Moar. It'll take their toll on those guys, but the other ones, Salih came in as a substitution. He started the last 3. Josh Goss making his debut. Tony Soler, debut last week on Wednesday. versus Tulsa, so short recovery time, but still plenty of energy in the tank. This is where you got to figure out what you're made of. How many times we said they have to close? 10 minutes left in a game, up a goal on the road. This is where, when you look down in August, September, October, what could have been an excellent opportunity versus a team in Orange County that you know is going to get better, and you don't want to look back and say, what if? So far, they've had to do that 2 out of 3 games.
Tony Soler. Last touch off of New Mexico United, says the assistant referee. Troy Lassane can't believe it. Good defensive work. It was Goss who got a piece of it. And now Padilla will recycle. Orange County obviously a bit more urgent with their defensive pressure. And New Mexico United needed to be hasty in their efforts to clear it away, as the passing was a little bit suspect, to say the least. Joe Amico gets it away. Not the best of clearances from Tete. Contour. Shielded off nicely by Tommy Madden. And Padilla will pick up the loose pieces. Words being exchanged by the New Mexico United bench, as well as Sebastian Dupree. Good ball out wide, Forster. Straight into Madden. Orange County wanted a handball, most certainly not going to get one there. Madden trying to deal with the veteran Forster, but last touch off the Englishman. Muhammad was dragged down, no call. Ramos Godoy, Darwin Jones, and a corner for Orange County. I'm sure New Mexico United feel hard done that they didn't get themselves a free kick.
Ramos Godoy picks his head up for 1 second. He'll see the overlapping run of Joe Amico developing on the right side. Don't mind the decision, but Orange County have to continue to apply this pressure. They've started to slack off a bit the past few minutes.
Should be a handball, and it will be.
Just picked up a fun stat while we're waiting for this to start over. Western Conference. Tulsa Roughnecks have scored 14 goals in their first 4 matches. It took them 15 matches last year to hit 14 goals. That's a turnaround. That's what happens when you bring in 25 out of 26 new players.
But when are they going to find that middle ground? Because it just feels like every year they're either at the bottom of the Western Conference barrel or they're vying for a 7 or an 8 seed.
It doesn't help when you have 3 coaches in 5 years.
Doesn't help.
If Vaudreuil comes in, leads into a 7th place finish in the Western Conference.
Poor start, then he's out.
Poor start, then he's out.
Here's Forster. Easy work for Mizell. Forster came up through the likes of the Aston Villa as well as Watford academies. '87th minute, New Mexico United still hanging on by a thread, and wouldn't you know it, it's that Kevon Frater goal that was gifted to New Mexico. That's the difference maker. David Estrada still trying to open things up in the 87th. 31-year-old veteran from Morelia, Mexico. Actually a California native. Moved from Mexico to California at 4 years old with his family.
I'm actually surprised at the impact that he's had for this squad so far. A nice surprise.
Really? You're surprised?
Yes, because last year when he was with S2, now Tacoma Defiance, they started to move him in. It's sort of a, he played every game, but you're with a 2 squad in Seattle where, to be honest, he wasn't going to make his way back into the Sounders squad. They had already moved him into an academy coaching position on his off days. You're starting to get noticeably less minutes and moved into a coaching position. That starts to smell a bit different, the direction of your career is going.
So you're surprised that he's playing?
No.
Not just the, you're surprised with the impact.
I'm surprised at the impact. Not surprised he's
playing.
I'm
not.
I figured someone would pick him up. I mean, to be fair, I say this very respectfully because what Sounders 2, now Tacoma Defiance, we're trying to do and are trying to do, they nurture a different soul. They're bringing academy products up. They're looking at the 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds. Great talent, by the way, that are having big impacts at the national level for our youth squads. They're not looking at the 30-year-old outside midfielder or forward, usually.
Hold on thought for a second as Contour bends this one in. The header not a down, but straight into Mizell. That's about the 3rd or 4th time we've seen Orange County get good delivery, but the headed shot is right at Mizell.
That's new acquisition, Liam Trotter, though. That nice big frame in the middle of the field. Seen him put in some brute-like challenges. And this time goes aerial. Not bad, but as you mentioned, just the execution poor from an air standpoint. That call could be put right back across the 6 and let someone run onto it, or at least push it away from the goalkeeper. Too many times we've seen it right at Mizell.
It's a poor mistake from Orange County. Not sure if you can put the blame completely on Darwin Jones, as that pass was a little bit behind him. But Devin, back to your point about a team like the Tacoma Defiance now, then S2, not looking at the 30, 31-year-old, but look at the Bethlehem Steel where Santi Moar came from. You have the likes of a James Chambers who can sort of be the glue guy and bring all of these young guys together and be the voice of reason on the field.
Different position, way different position.
Different position, but serving the same function.
It's different. It's apples and oranges. You're trying to argue someone who used to play the 9 coming up and then moved into a 7 or 11 type role, as opposed to a very hard-nosed 6. You can play that 6 spot and be a holding midfielder that gets stuck in, leads vocally, leads by performance, on and off the field. It's much more difficult to replicate that as an outside midfielder or forward, especially at the age of 31.
Fair. And we're being told it's 5 minutes of stoppage time now being indicated by the 4th official.
And speaking of replication, how interesting has it been with Orange County in the second half, where first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they were kind of up and down, teams finding their legs again. Next 20 was all Orange County. They looked very nice. That's cooled off a bit again.
Well, they needed to score when they were putting the pressure on. That's what needed to happen as Liam Trotter steals in the middle of the field, and Juan Pablo Guzman should most certainly see mustard for that, and he will. Had to do it.
Yeah, he's coming down no matter what. You've been beat. The counter is starting to develop. Orange County had numbers. You take one for the team right there and just regroup, get back behind the ball, hit the reset button, and see what you can do.
You never know what would have happened with that counter, but you could look at it as, I'll take a yellow card for 3 points.
Yeah, 100%. And the manager's not going to mind that decision, especially when you're 50 yards, 60 yards from goal.
Dupree. Awkward. Trotter back in. Orange County equalize. And it's Leonardo, the veteran, the captain, brings Orange County back to life in stoppage time.
Braden Cloutier told us that when he got his opportunity to get his mitts on this veteran Brazilian, he jumped at the opportunity. Leonardo actually shied away from it at first, wanted to stay with Houston. That wasn't the case. Comes out to California, and what a welcome party for the center back. Said it doesn't hurt that he's just as good with his left foot as he is with his right. And those are two late acquisitions into your preseason. The Englishman Liam Trotter to your center back. What an odd pairing to get the game-tying goal, but they'll take it any way they can get it.
Where do we go from here? Felt like it was just a matter of time before Orange County were going to get the equalizer. New Mexico had just been so passive, really, for the past, what, half hour?
Keep an eye. This isn't over.
No.
They are spirited. You can see a notch higher pep in their step right now. There is still time for Orange County to go and get the game winner.
How about Leonardo in his Orange County debut with his first goal for the side? Boy, is it a big one to lift their spirits here in Irvine. Now here's Contour into the path of Darwin Jones. A heavy first touch, keeps it in play. The flick on was terrific, but nobody at the back post.
I was waiting for it. I was up out of my seat. I thought this had a trailing run. You could see it setting up nicely.
Don't lie to the folks at home. You're at the edge of your seat. You're not out of your seat right now.
Well, I don't get up unless I absolutely have to. We know that at this point
your
in my
knees
life.
Are, yeah.
But that set up very nicely. The ball just coming right across the body. Good flick to the far post. Still a minute left.
Muscled away by Orange County. Is there a late game winner in this one? Contour. It's got to go. Hamilton up for the header. Taken away by Forster. Full time. Finishes 2-2 here in Irvine. Orange County battle back from a 2-goal deficit in the second half. Darwin Jones and then Leonardo in his debut for Orange County gets the equalizer in stoppage time. OCSC still looking for their first win of 2019, but 2-2 is a whole lot better than another loss at home following that 5-3 loss to the Tulsa Roughnecks last week. And New Mexico United still unbeaten in their inaugural season. Devin Kerr, your thoughts?
This is why you don't hit the panic button. Signings like that, Leonardo, still proving he can get it done. And if you can just get them to gel on a regular basis, sky is the limit. New Mexico United, shame on you. You should have many more points and be looking down upon everyone in the Western Conference. This is one of those ones, like we said, you're going to look back and be one that got away.
And tonight's body armor man of the match is Leonardo. And it is for this effort right here that equalized in stoppage time for Orange County on his debut. Couldn't write any better.
I'll take it. Why not?
Maybe the game winner probably would have been better.
Yeah, I mean, but still, they looked the better squad in the opening 45. And again, it's better versus Reno in the second half, better versus Tulsa in the first half, better here. And New Mexico is just a first half team at this point in time. All of the hype around them means nothing if they can't close the game out. 4 games in, you have 6 points to show from it.
2 draws on the road against against 2 Western Conference finalists from a year ago.
And you have managed to be out in the lead
5 different times.
And seceded every single time. Not good enough for me.
Hot takes from Devin Kerr. 2-2's the final score. We'll step aside and put a bow on it when we come back.
You give them an inch, they will take a mile. Just like that.
Goal! Orange County. Oh, it's a world-class goal from Orange County.
The Orange County Soccer Club Pro Experience membership, designed to accelerate your training and enable you to reach the professional performance levels of the biggest leagues around the world. Membership includes free tickets to 7 home matches, training sessions with coaches and technical director Franz Hoek, live events with leading soccer minds like Brad Friedel, Raphael Wicki, and Keisuke Honda, and many additional benefits. Go to orangecountysoccer.com/pro experience.
It's a world-class goal from Orange County. Brilliant build-up play.
And Orange County has struck again. Sedberg's a chance to put Orange County in front, and he does.
Full time here at Championship Soccer Stadium. Kevon Frater, well, I'm sure for a large period of time thought he had the game winner, but it would be Leonardo in his Orange County Soccer Club debut, equalizing in stoppage time, and 2-2 is the final score as New Mexico United continue their unbeaten streak and start to the 2019 season. And we'll take a look at the full-time highlights, which are brought to you by 7-Up. Do more with 7-Up. Devin Kerr. Pretty exciting 90 minutes, and New Mexico United, as you talked about, I mean, a first-half team right now, and we made a mistake heading into the break. It's not 5 times that they've conceded a lead.
Lucky number 6.
6.
And that's just shame. That's not good enough, I'm sorry. But this started off. Interesting how Santi Moar scored his goal. Not only was he wide open, so was Ryan Williams. Those 2 guys, very, very small. And that just goes to show you that the communication lacking from the back line of Orange County, and that will come in time. I said, don't hit the panic button. The youngster.
That was the save.
That could be save of the week, but that kept them in the game right there because that was the turning point coming in the start of the second half. About 5-6 minutes in. Okay, guys, let's get it in gear. We're still in this. Our youngster leading from the back forward. We talked about all the missing pieces. How about the new acquisitions? They signed him in the offseason, youngest signing in club history, and then they start to get some momentum going forward. Ball's knocked back across the box. This was the one from Forrester all the way across Ramos Godoy, trailing by Darwin Jones. Like you said, they'll take it any way they can get it. That got them to 2-1, and you just felt it coming. They kept knocking on the doorstep one after another, Ramos-Godoy made a mess of this 6 yards out. How do you go from world class about a week and a half before to something like that? Not the finish that you want, but if at first you don't succeed, try again. The Englishman to the Brazilian, Liam Trotter, back to Leonardo. They got their equalizer. Orange County showed great character to close this match out and get it to within 2.
Good presence of mind from Trotter, knowing that there's got to be somebody at the back post, and it was a really good ball at the end. As you take a look at the full-time stats, which are brought to you by Pro Sport, and you look at the possession, it started to swing heavily in favor and then ended up teetering out in the end. And Orange County, I mean, second half, it really was after that save from Cervantes. I mean, you see your 17-year-old keep you in the game and keep it at 2-0, and it just gives you all the confidence in the world to just go ahead and try to equalize.
Remember, we talked at halftime. They had 6 shots, none on goal.
7.
7 on goal. You piped 13 at them in the second half.
But you got a lot still that didn't find the target.
Agreed, but 0 for 6 and 7 out of 13. I'll take over 50% every day of the week. You need to be better in your execution rate, but still, the second half, much better from Brigham Cloutier. And again, they can find a way to just put together a full performance. That's what they're looking for. Not worried about the previous Western Conference champions regular season. They'll be fine.
Well, Orange County picking up their second point of the season, still in search of their first win. Meanwhile, for New Mexico United, it is yet another impressive performance. However, maybe a disappointing result in the end as they get a draw against the Western Conference finalist a year ago, 2-2 on the road. Kevon Frater, Santi Moar the goal scorers, and then it was Darwin Jones and Leonardo for Orange County. These two teams are certainly going to be there at the end of the year in the Western Conference. For our entire crew, Devin Kerr, Tyler Terrence saying so long for now.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.